Hi everyone, my name's Tom. I'm one of the directors of First in Events, and what I'm going to do today is just talk through the setup for a DaySack for those that you are coming on events as runners and not load bearing. Right then, so what we've got here then is a DaySack setup for one of the participants that wants to be a runner. That's someone that's not carrying a weight, not carrying a weighted Bergen, but they're carrying just the actual basics they need, safety gear and the like, to keep them safe on the hill. As you can see there, the total weight of that bag then is 13 pounds, 5.9 kilos. So exactly half of that weight is taken up by water, the rest of it is by the contents. Right then, so this is the actual DaySack then set up for a runner. As you can see on the outside of the DaySack, you've got this luminous marker panel. This is a safety item, we will issue this to you. Basically with this, make sure it's attached nice and securely. If you don't attach it securely, the wind will grab this because it's really light and it'll be gone. You'll never see it again, it'll get blown off the side of the mountain. We do want these back at the end of the event, okay? So make sure it's fitted securely, and the reason why you're going to wear this is so that we can identify you as one of our runners, as one of the participants, so that if for any reason you do go off route, off track a little bit, we can maybe come and grab a hold of you, or you know, if you're in dramas, we can come and rescue you, okay? So make sure it's fitted at all times. Right then, talking about the DaySack itself, you can see there that it's nice and tidy. All the zips are done up properly. Any straps that might be on there that are loose will be tidied away, okay? There's not really many straps on this sort of DaySack other than the shoulder straps and the waist strap. But if you had a top loading type, then you want to make sure the straps are tidied away, any tensioners on the shoulder straps, that sort of thing, because if they are loose and flapping around and it's windy, they can come around and whip you in the eye or whip someone else in the eye as they're going past you or whatever, okay? So make sure everything's nice and tidy. Personally, I like to have everything packed away inside my kit. I have seen people with all sorts of stuff dangling off the back of the DaySacks and the Bergens. It just looks horrendous. And you know, you could lose something. If you've got something like a mug or a teddy bear hanging off the back of your DaySack, up to you, but I'd rather keep it packed away where it's not going to get lost. Right then, so the front of the DaySack, shoulder straps, make sure everything's fitted to you nice and tidily, and you've trained with the kit and the weight that you're going to come on the events with. Make sure you're prepared, and there's no surprises, things like, you know, maybe shoulder straps chafing on your shoulders or your neck or whatever. Make sure it's worn in and comfortable and you've tried it out. Going down the front of the shoulder strap here then, what I've got is the hydration tube for the water bladder, and that's tucked away nicely in these elastic straps that this type of DaySack has. Obviously, you know, different types of packs have different things on them. Just if you have got a hydration tube coming out of your DaySack, make sure it's stowed away nicely. If you need to improvise something, do that. But if it's flapping around all over the place, firstly, you won't be able to grab it when you need it because it'll be stuffed away behind your back or something. And secondly, again, it can be a hazard whipping your face or something. Going into the actual contents of the bag then. So on this outside pouch, what I've got here then, first thing I'm going to take out is this Siloon or glow stick. This is a red one, and this is for emergencies again. So if you become a casualty, or you come across someone else that's become a casualty, maybe they've gone over on an ankle and they can't carry on, you can actually use this if the light's starting to fail to mark the position of the casualty. You can either slot it into something on the kit, like one of these loops, or tie it to them, something like that, okay? Also, what I've got in this little pocket here, this pouch, is a whole load of energy gels, snack bars and stuff like that, all that good stuff to keep your energy levels up as you're going around the route. Now, if you've got some little pockets on your belt, maybe a good idea to put them there so you can get hold of them really easy, or if you're wearing a jacket, you can put them in your pockets, up to you. But make sure you've got some energy to keep going around the route. Other side then, really important thing to have, head torch. Okay, so we're going to be conducting our activities during the day, but if for any reason you get lost, waylaid, whatever you want to call it, and you find yourself out in the middle of nowhere and it's starting to get dark, really important to have a head torch on you or some sort of lighting system. I'd suggest a head torch because your hand's free then, so you know you don't have to worry. If you was carrying a casualty, for example, you want to have your hands free, don't you? So have that on your head and make sure it's got new batteries in it. Okay, next thing I've got in here then is a waterproof bag. This is an Ortlieb bag, and I've basically got all my little bits and pieces, my valuables and stuff in there. So I've got my phone, my wallet, spare batteries from a torch. Okay, so make sure they're new batteries, and some toilet paper, and they're just all held together. Anything that needs to be waterproofed is just in that little waterproof bag. Also my keys, I mean you can put that inside the waterproof bag as well, it's up to you, but I just rather not, because the metallic edges might cut into the bag itself. Right then, opening up the main pouch of the bag. First thing we're going to come across then is this little dry bag here. Now what I've got inside here is all my sort of gloves, hats and stuff like that, and they're just in a separate bag. It's up to you how you pack your stuff, but this is my suggestion. This is in a separate bag so that you can just grab it out and not have to go into your main contents, okay? So what I've got here then, this is a waterproof cap type thing to be worn in the winter if it's really nasty weather. A woolly hat, so for when you know, if it is super freezing and you just need some warmth on your head, or at the start of an event when you're waiting to register, or at the end of an event when you're sort of cooling down, make sure you've got something to whack on your head to keep that sort of warmth in. Pair of gloves. If you're already wearing gloves because it's a cold day, I'd say maybe a good idea to take a spare pair of gloves, just in case, you know, in case your original ones get a bit wet. And this thing here is a great bit of kit. It's a snood. I'm sure you're all aware of what one of these is. You can put this over your face, around your neck. It helps keep the warmth in, keeps the chill off your ears when it's a really cold, windy day. You can see there, this is the First in Events one. We've got these available now for sale at the events if you'd like one. Going into the main part of the bag then, you can see you've got the hydration bladder there, 3 litres of water, okay? I suggest that's what you want to be carrying, at least 3 litres of water, okay? Because as you're running around on the hills, you're going to have to keep that hydration going the whole time you're moving. The main bag then, so what I've got here, this is a liner, a Daysac liner. What I would say is this is very important to keep your stuff nice and waterproofed. The weather can be really bad up on the hills in Brecon. It can be sideways rain, howling. So if you've got a decent Bergen liner like this, or Daysac liner, it will make sure your stuff inside stays dry, so that when you actually get your kit out, it's not wrecked. So when you go to put on a warm jacket or a waterproof jacket, it's not already wet by the time you go to use it. If you use something like a bin bag or a shopping bag, and it's not going to do any good, basically, that will just tear, and it also won't keep the wet off. First thing I'm going to pull out then is a first aid kit. So this is one of the Life Systems ones. It is pre-made, pre-set up. All I'd say about that is, if you do buy one like this that's already pre-prepared, make sure you know what's in it and you know how to use it. There's no point carrying stuff that you don't know what it is, so when you open it up it's a surprise, okay? So make sure you know what's in there, you know how to use it, and also maybe supplement it a little bit. What I've done with my one here then is I've added some stronger painkillers, just in case I go over an ankle or something, some extra plasters and a couple of little bandages and stuff like that. If you wanted to, you could put a blister kit in for afterwards. You know, it's up to you, but just have a good dig in there, make sure you know what's in there. In conjunction with that then, what I've got here then is a survival bivy bag. This is like one of the foil blanket things, but in a bivy bag style. So the foil blankets only cost a couple of quid, they're not much at all, but it's a great safety item for if you do come across a casualty, maybe going down with hypothermia. This will keep them alive until the emergency services get to them, and they weigh basically nothing. Next thing in the bag then, waterproof jacket. This is a nice lightweight Rab one, great bit of kit. Definitely need a half decent waterproof, okay? If you're going to Brecon Beacons in the winter, October, November, you can't go without a decent waterproof, okay? And I'm not on about spending hundreds and hundreds of pounds, but at least something that's going to do the job, all right? And that needs to be near the top of your Daysac, because it rains a lot in Brecon. Next thing out of here then is a warm jacket. Now, it doesn't need to be a super duper massive puffer jacket, but you definitely need some sort of warm layer in your bag, alright? Now, the runners amongst you, fell runners and stuff, will be thinking, well, I don't need that, I'm going to be going around at Mach 10, which I'm sure you will be. But if you go over on an ankle and you can't go at the pace that you're expecting to be going at, you're going to be cooling down a lot faster than you imagine. So having something in there is a safety item. What you're doing is you're catering for the worst case scenario, not the scenario you're expecting, okay? So make sure you've got something in there as a safety item, okay? Just to keep warm if need be. And the last thing I've got within the main bag then is a spare pair of socks, decent pair of socks as well, So the sort of thing you want to wear if you are tabbing up and down mountains. Again, you might not be planning on using these, but if you do get super wet feet, it's not very nice if you're out in the hills for hours and hours with horrible, wet, cold feet. So you may want to change your socks. That will help prevent blisters as well. So that's in there just as like a bit of a backup. And that is the total contents of the bag right there. Right then, so that's me finished talking about the runner's kit. Not a massive amount of kit, but just a few items to keep you safe and comfortable whilst you're on the hills. So look forward to seeing you on some of the events soon. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And if you want to go to the website and check out our new events and news and stuff, it's www.firstinevents.com. And don't forget, keep low, move fast.